Hey guys, this is Dan with Adventuring Today. Today I've got a 2020 Ford F150 with the STX package. It is a 4x4, and this one, if you're looking for a base model with lots of options on it, this is the vehicle for you. It's even got the 5.0. What a motor. So I want to spend a little bit of time with you today, do a quick little walk around on this vehicle. I got all the wings open on it, and I wanted to share with you some of the things I think Ford has done really well. A couple things I think they could improve on, but for the most part, this is a fantastic truck. And of course, this is Ford's bread and butter. They just have, once again, continually refine something that's already great. So if you own an older F-150, you've got a great vehicle. If you're in the market for a newer vehicle, then they have not done you wrong. They have just done a great job with this one. So, of course, my Super Duty's back at the dealership today, so this is what they gave me for a loaner. I got a great dealership. They loan out great vehicles. It's only got 5,000 miles on it, and it's in great shape. They keep them fresh. It's a current model year, and I really like working with these guys. So, anyway. All right, so let's talk about this truck a little bit here. So this is the window sticker. And I'm going to put some pictures up here in the video because it's probably going to be hard to see while I talk. But this, like I say, it's a Ford F-150. It's a 4x4 Super Crew. It's got the 157-inch wheelbase. It's got the 5-liter V8, which is a beast of a motor. Anybody who's ever driven a F-150 with this motor in it, you know it's something special. And then it's also got the electric 10-speed auto transmission, the new upgraded transmission. It's been on this truck for a couple years. Ford has done a great job with the tuning of this transmission to work with this motor, and it's really done them well. So this is an XL. STXs are XLs, and they bring a little bit more bling to the looks of the vehicle. But let's talk about what the dealership did when they ordered this truck. So, this is nearly a $50,000 vehicle. It's $48,990. You could probably expect to pay somewhere in the neighborhood of $40,000 to $42,000 for this. If you can really negotiate well and get a good deal, it's probably a pretty good number to get in. I'd say maybe 42, let's call it, give or take. Okay, 42, give or take. I think if you walked out with $49,000 off, you're basically stealing it. 42 though is probably a pretty fair price. So, okay, what do we have here? They option this thing. I think this truck that's optioned like this at $49,000 is really for somebody who would prefer a Lariat but doesn't want the leather seats. That's really the way I think about it. So it's got really nice, comfortable cloth seats. The one little knock I'll give about the interior is I'm 6'7" and I feel like I'm sitting a little bit high. I wish I could lower the seat a little bit more, but I'm 6'7". It probably won't affect most people since I'm kind of in that outsider range for size. But other than that, that's really about the only knock that I have on the truck at all. So anyway, let's go through the options real quick. So it's got the 5-liter V8. It's got a 355 electronic rear diff. It's got, I'll go over the major ones here. It's got the trailer tow package for $1,000. You get Sirius XM radio. It's got the STX appearance package, which is almost $2,000, and it gives you quite a few things. So you get upgraded all-terrain tires, Sync 3. You get a rear window defroster. You get manual driver lumbar adjustment. You get privacy glass. And then Ford went and added, or the dealership added, a 36-gallon extended range fuel tank, which I think is just genius on their part. They added the integrated trailer brake controller for $275, a reverse sensing system. You also get on this truck the XL Sport package and the STX Sport Cloth 40 console 40 interior, so you get a front center console. If you don't need 6 seating, then this is a really nice feature and a pretty good price to get that. So with that, you've got about $8,595 worth of options. That brings you to $49,000. So it is a very heavily optioned truck. 50 grand is not cheap, but you do get a lot of truck for your money. let me talk real quick about that 5-liter and the 10-speed transmission. It is so well tuned. You know, a lot of electronics at play here between the engine and the start stop and everything going on with how they program it for different altitudes and weather conditions and humidity, and all this goes into the engine tuning and so forth. But in addition to that, you end up with a transmission that has the ability to skip gears, and you get several different drive modes. So you get normal drive mode, you get a sport drive mode, you get another drive mode for driving in wet and slippery conditions, and then you get an eco mode. And they give you lots and lots of flexibility. So the sound of the engine is absolutely fantastic. I test drove a Lariat with a Hemi, a Laramie, a 2020 Laramie with a Hemi motor, and the sound from the interior is very similar between those two trucks. Now, the Hemi had a dual rear exhaust on it. The Laramie, of course, is kind of like the Lariat version of the Ford. So the interior was a little bit nicer, but really options and so forth were very, very close. Maybe the Laramie had a slightly better sound system on it. Maybe it had a little bit nicer dashboard and so forth. But I mean, we were comparing basically a Lariat to an XL. So you can't expect them to be an apples and apples comparison. But from a drivetrain perspective, Ford has it nailed. In my opinion, they have just done an absolutely fantastic job. So getting into the motor here a little bit. Of course, Ford can't keep their coolant the same for too many years in a row, so we've had a recent change to the coolant. The battery that Ford is using in these vehicles that have start-stop is typically an AGM battery. I've got this on my 2018 Ford Expedition. That truck's got the 3.5 EcoBoost. These batteries are fantastic. Ford does make very good batteries, or at least they equip their vehicles with very good batteries. Ford's not, of course, manufacturing these. Not exactly sure who the manufacturer is. If anybody knows out there, I'd love to know. But their batteries do last a long time. And this battery may look small, but it packs a punch. It's got 760 cold cranking amps, and it's designed to last the long haul, because this motor is a beast. Now, one nice advantage about the 5-liter is you can see how open everything is. I mean, to get to the spark plugs, I mean, even over here where it's typically tighter on the passenger side, you can get all the way back here to that back spark plug and easily change that. Super easy access. You got your oil fill right here. This is the air intake system right here, and we've got just easy access to everything. So you've got your alternator right down there. Here's the steering linkage. I mean, it's just so easy to work on. So one of the big knocks on the 3.5 is just the engine bay seems so packed, and it really is, because there's just so much more going on with the twin turbo plumbing and so forth. It takes up a lot more space, even though that engine size is smaller. The block is smaller. You've only got 6 cylinders versus 8. But because of the simplicity of this motor, it's so much easier to work on. So it's a huge advantage to the V8. Plus, I think you can argue longevity either way. There's no knocks against that 3.5. I mean, I've owned that engine in a number of different vehicles, and it's never given me any problems. I've towed like crazy with it. It's a beast of a motor. I mean, no doubt about it. But you just can't replace the sound that comes out of this V8. I mean, at the end of the day, this is a Mustang motor that they've put and updated a few ways to make it a little bit more heavy duty for truck duty, but I mean, this motor is a beast. It likes to rev, but it's got good low end torque. It's really, really nice. Now, what else has Ford done here? So, one big advantage to Ford is that they give you a lot of room in the back seat. So if you've got big guys or lots of kids, you've got lots of space in the back seat. This seat does flip up because it's an XL. Looks like a previous person had a spoon back here. You can buy storage underneath the seat over here, so you can turn this into a big storage area for only a couple $100. Pretty easy to do. Ford has given you these hand-cooked tires. These are the Dynapro AT2s. If you can see that, Dynapro AT2s. Really good tire. I'm going to do another video on these. and I want to talk to you about these tires because there's some things I like about them and some things I don't like about them. Now, this has got the 355 in it. Let's take a look and see what some of the numbers are here. All right, if we can see this okay, get the camera focused. So we've got 1,932 pounds of cargo capacity with this vehicle. Now, again, this is running the 355 rear diff. Tire pressures are 35 PSI front and back. The max GVWR is 7,050 pounds, 7,050 pounds. The max weight on the front rear axle is 3,525, and on the rear it's 3,800. Now, those are really good capacities. My 2017 Super Duty with the Power Stroke has a payload almost exactly what this truck is. Mine is 1,950 pounds. This is 1,932, so very, very similar. Okay, now let's talk about tires real quick. So cold PSI is 35 on these Hankooks. If you want to run maximum payload and you're working hard and you've got a trailer, you have to pump these tires up to their max cold pressure, which is, this is going to be hard to see, which is 51 pounds. You got to get up to 51 pounds. Now, when you do that, these tires do run quite a bit harder. So that's number one. Now, number two, I think when Hankooks first came out to the market, they're pretty cheap tires. Meaning not only were they inexpensive, and they are pretty price competitive in most of their different tires that they sell, but they just didn't last long. The rubber wasn't that great. They just didn't perform that well. Hankook has come a long, long, long way with the quality of their tires. There's typically a price advantage with them still, but they give you a ride. It is typically similar to what you might get from a typically known premium brand in the United States, like maybe a Michelin or even a Goodyear. Ford is equipping a lot of the vehicles with Hankooks because the tires are really good tires. You know, Ford is not looking at the truck and saying, well, where can we skimp out and save a little bit of money? Let's put some low grade tires on the truck. They want to use good equipment and give you a good experience, and these Hankooks should deliver pretty well. Now, I will make another video on these in much more in-depth review because I want to talk about the siping and so forth, but that'll be for another video. So anyway, the other major change that Ford has made for 2020 is with their sync system. The sync system has been upgraded. Now, this is just your basic sync in this truck. Get the keys out here. So, but remember, this is an XL. This is supposed to be your basic work truck. And, you know, just with a couple $1,000s, you can really equip these things with some nice features. So as we wait for this to boot up here, okay, so it took about 8 seconds to boot up. Now, what you can see with this vehicle is they've just really improved the graphics on the new modern sync system. So with that, you get, you know, icons instead of numbers for the different channels. The layout is very similar if you're familiar with the older sync systems. The responsiveness, though, is just a little bit quicker. When you click the buttons and you want to go somewhere, it just happens a little bit quicker. When you're making adjustments, when you're within the same screen, it's instantaneous. So Ford has really done a good job with sync. The nice thing about it too is if you run into some sort of a glitch, just like with, say, like a Microsoft computer, oftentimes a simple reboot of the system will bring it right back online. I've had to do that once or twice with my Super Duty, and it's always fixed it. So anytime you're dealing with complicated software, there's going to be glitches from time to time. I don't care if it's a Ford or a Ram or a GM, it's just going to happen. And they do make it really easy to do a customer reset of this. And you might have to reprogram your radio stations, but everything else typically is remembered and you're good to go. So anyway, a couple of things about the interior in this truck. So I love the way the controls are set up in Fords. They're big knobs. If you got gloves on in the winter, it's really easy to make adjustments. One nice thing about the XL is the heating air conditioning system is it's old school with modern touches to it, but it is simple. It's totally flexible. It's easy to control, and it's a super high capacity system. So it's really, really effective. Now, back to the work side of the dashboard here, which is the trailer towing and so forth. So I love that Ford gives you all kinds of ability to control what's going on with your drivetrain. So you can pull this knob out, and that locks your rear diff. You've got 2-wheel high. If you want to shift a 4-wheel high, it's a flip right there. You can do that while you're driving, of course. And then if you want to go to 4-wheel drive low, you just flip over here when you're in neutral or in park, and it will shift for you automatically. It is a really, really nice, well thought out system. It's simple and very, very, very effective. Now, here you get Ford's very innovative trailer backup assist system. So you are backing your trailer up. If you want to go the more modern way of backing up your trailer, then you just turn this knob, and the truck will actually turn the front wheels for you to get you angled where you need to be, which is really nice. And then down here, of course, is you've got your gain control and your trailer brakes. And so if you get a little bit of sway, it's an easy right hand pull down here. You can pull on that, and the trailer brakes will go on and eliminate that sway for you. Also, it's just an easy way to test to make sure your brakes are connected, and you're good to go. Now, on the dashboard, the information display screen, I don't want you to get, if anybody is really hung up on not having the full electronic display, don't worry. Nearly every single feature is here. Just the layout's a little bit different, and it's a little bit smaller, but it's a very, very, very effective system. So anything from your fuel economy to a fuel economy over the last 30 minutes, this is breaking down into 6-minute intervals. So you get 5 bars that'll scroll across here, but 6-minute intervals. You get a compass. You got auto start stop, you got a couple trip computers, and that's the trip fuel display. Over here, you've got distance to empty, your tire pressure monitoring system, a digital speedo. This is great, giving you engine hour and engine idle hour information, transmission temperature, and again, we're back to distance to empty. Go down to your towing control. You've got towing status. Of course, there's no active trailer, but you can assign trailers. In here, you would go to add a trailer. You can scan through and name your trailer. So if I wanted to name this an get back here. If I were to name this trailer A, or Z or whatever, you just push these buttons and you can name your trailer. And then once you get that trailer added, then you can configure it. So you can control the brake effort. Let's say you want it to be low. Is it a conventional trailer, a fifth wheel, or a gooseneck? Let's say it's a fifth wheel. Well, actually this is a 150. So okay, here we go. All right, this is a 150, so we're not going to tow a fifth wheel with this. We're going to tow a conventional trailer. Set up Pro Backup. Now this, I'm not going to be able to show you this, but because you need a trailer to do it. But this is where you would set up your trailer backup system, which is pretty amazing. But anyway, so there's just lots of great features in here. And then what's nice about this system is it remembers how many miles you've driven. Say you've got 4 different trailers that you bought at 4 different times, but you use them quite often. This truck will recognize which trailer you have attached based on when you plug it in, when you connect your brakes or your lights. It will recognize that trailer, and then it starts tracking the miles on that trailer. So it's super helpful for things like wheel bearing maintenance, but also if you do, like some people do tire rotations on trailers, not many, but if you want to track how many miles you have on your tires, it's a really easy way to track that. If you've got multiple trailers, it could be really confusing on how many miles you have in each one. Ford makes that easy and takes care of that for you. So, okay, well, you know, with that, you've got this off-road status, where your power is coming from. So rear wheel versus front wheel, it displays right here. And then over here in the settings, you can adjust your distance to empty calculation from normal to towing. You can turn on and off your park aid. Pre-collision, you can turn on active braking or turn it off. You can adjust your sensitivity from high sensitivity, normal, or low sensitivity. So, you know, I had this happen one time when I had a Ford Flex. Every time I came around this curve in my neighborhood, I got the warning on the dash because there was a guardrail there. And so I just lowered my sensitivity to that and it went away, but I still had all the safety features that are built into the collision alert. So, and then you've got advanced settings. So you can go into vehicle and adjust your lighting. You can adjust your locks. You can adjust your oil life monitor, remote start. You can even adjust the duration for how long it runs. So I hopefully you're getting the feeling here. You can turn on the courtesy wipe, which is turned off. We'll turn that on. So hopefully you're getting the feeling that this truck, even though it doesn't have the big fancy display, it has all of the flexibility and the options to control anything you need to control. So last couple things on the interior. Trap door here to hide any goodies you might have in here, like your phone and so forth. You get a couple UPS charging ports, which are really nice. You get some nice little areas to store things right in here. So this is kind of nice. I've been setting my phone in here, which is really convenient. You can set your phone in this way. You can see this is an iPhone 11. It's really deep. You get a couple nice cup holders here with these grip onto all different types of cans or bottles that you get, big gulps and so forth, and then a super large center console. So it's just got all the features on it. I mean, all the features. Nice little tray right here if you want to throw some pens and so forth, and then a nice big deep glove box. Plus you get storage up here for your owner's manual. A lot of vehicles don't come with this. You stick your owner's manual down in here and 50% of your room is lost just to your owner's manual. Ford thinks about that and gives you a little cubby hole here for your owner's manual to tuck it away. Kind of reminds me of those Volkswagens from a few years ago that had the umbrella slot that was built into the door over here. It was built into the door. So flexible with the seat. This is your lumbar control. This is your manual tilt on the seat back, and you've got a manual button or lever right here to control your fore and aft. And then the controls up here on the dashboard are really, really nice. So you've got a light that will shine right into the bed. These are your controls for your dashboard to control the lighting to make it brighter or dimmer. And this is for your fog lights. So this has an automatic light setting on it. If you wanted to go to, you know, just not have it in automatic but in manual mode, you would go put it here. Now the lights will stay on for a period of time. So if you like to use this mode rather than automatic, be sure to either turn it off or turn it back to automatic mode when you shut the vehicle down so you don't burn up the battery. And then of course this is just your driving lights here. So oftentimes when I tow, I put my truck in this mode and then I have my fog lights on, just to give myself a little bit more brightness as I'm driving down the highway. But that way I can use this mode without my headlights on, and it still activates my camera on the back of my trailer. So just a little tip there. But anyway, so great truck. I think it's super good looking. It's got everything you need. The big, nice, beefy wheels, the STX badging. It's a 4x4. It's got the running boards. It's got the V8. It's got the 10-speed. It's got just these really good looking headlights, and the front grille is, you know, kind of in your face, you know, for a half ton. It's got the tow hooks. It's got it all. It has got it all. Listen to how the doors slam shut. It's just a nice, solid, I mean, almost German sounding sound. So anyway, with that, I appreciate you being here today. Sorry for maybe the length of this video, but there's just so much that this truck offers. And it's so good looking and so well engineered. As you can tell, I absolutely love it. So anyway, with that, please share with your friends, subscribe, like, and ring that bell. We'll have future videos coming out, not only on this truck, but on other vehicles, gadgets, reviews, and anything else I think you guys might be interested in. So anyway, thank you so much. Have a good day.